So you told me it was a pretty amazing day for you today.
Hey, 6 feet above is better than 6 feet below.
Yeah, but you
well, 6'4" to be technical.
I'm 6'3".
Well.
It really kills me. You know, when you're 6'3" and most people are shorter than you, anyone that's taller than you kind of look at, like, you probably get the same thing at 6'4". If there's anyone that's taller than you, you're like, what the hell, man?
That doesn't bother me. It's just a new sensation. You have to like lean up like, dang, I got to lean back to talk this old boy.
Yeah. I'm not used to it. I feel awkward. But anyways, you said you got the Popeye chicken sandwich today?
Yeah, spicy one.
How was it?
Dude, it was legit.
Tell me about everything. Like, tell me about the unwrapping, the first bite.
I mean, I'm not going into that much detail, but like literally, as soon as you pull it out of the little foil pack thing it comes in, it just feels like it's solid. It's heavy. You're like, oh man, this is a heck of a sandwich. I don't know. Like, literally, I pull out the bag and I'm just like holding it in my hand, like, oh man, they're gonna be legit.
Was it juicy?
It was.
The first bite.
Good batter, good fry. It comes with a sauce. I was actually talking to Mike about it.
Which Mike?
Hines.
Okay.
He said he couldn't come by tonight. I tried. I asked him.
He is our Matt Damon.
I tried, man. Maybe next show. But he said the sauce kind of threw him off. But mine was real thin, like almost like mayonnaise kind of thin, not heavy, but just enough to like give it just a small application. So I feel like that's a good level for it. The interesting thing too about it's the pickles, I guess, quote unquote. It's like an old school farmer's pickle. I mean, it's like a cut cucumber, but it's pickled, obviously.
Huh.
But I mean, it's thick. It's like $2 or $3.50 put together.
I'm glad you had it.
Hey, hands down, it beats Chick-fil-A. I will say that.
We are going to have to do a blind chicken taste test. What do you think about that?
I mean, we can. It's not even going to be close, though.
All right, this has gone on for a while. Let's drink some whiskey.
Sounds even better.
Hello, everyone. My name is John Edwards, and with me is Zeke Baker, and together we make the Dad's Drink of Bourbon. Wherever you are, whatever time it is, thank you for making us part of your day. Say hello to the folks, Zeke Baker.
Hello.
How are you?
Not too shabby.
You're feeling good? Ate a chicken sandwich today?
Still fighting allergies, man. It's got to the point where I have a nosebleed probably about 3 times a day just from blowing the damn thing.
It is the day before Thanksgiving. We are pulling the curtain back and letting everybody know we're recording. I just want to tell everybody, I'm very thankful for everyone who listens to us. And Zeke, I am thankful for you.
Hey, somebody's got to save you.
It's the only time you're ever going to hear me say this is one day a year. Just want to say, I'm thankful for you, buddy.
Oh, every now and then I'll pull some bottle out you've been wanting to taste for a while, and you'll be thankful again.
Yeah, and then you're thankful when I edit, and you don't have to.
Damn right.
This is one of these nights that I'm very thankful because it's just the two of us. I think there's a song. I'm not going to sing it. It's nice to just have you all to myself.
I don't know where this is going, but we need to start talking about the booze.
Well, today's show is brought to you by CaskCartel.com, changing the industry standard in how you get your alcohol shipped to you. Get the world's best spirits delivered directly to your door with Cask Cartel, whatever it is, whether it's tequila, rum, gin, vodka, whiskey, bourbon, scotch, whatever it is, they have it. They are like the Amazon of the spirits industry. You go to CaskCartel.com, they set you up with a marketplace that will ship to your door. If you're lazy, you're sitting on the couch, you don't want to go out to the store, you want to get it shipped right to you. It's not going to be that instant gratification, but it's going to be a heck of a lot easier. You're not spending gas to go out to the store, all that kind of stuff. Go to Cask Cartel, get your spirits shipped directly to you. CaskCartel.com, changing the industry standard. Follow them on Instagram at Cask Cartel. They're always doing a bunch of giveaways. They are doing a Pappy giveaway right now for samples of Pappy. So you want to follow them and get on that. We thank them for being an awesome sponsor. And please go to CaskCartel.com. Zeke, hi.
Hi.
We're drinking something, and admittedly, I want to apologize to the folks over at Barrell. We have had these 3 sitting here for about a month or 2, and we just haven't got to them between the interviews and the other stuff that was coming in. Everything kind of falls to the queue, and we don't always get to the queue as quickly as we would like to, but we are finally getting to this, and we want to do something on this one a little bit different. So we have 3 offerings from Barrell. We have a batch 20, we have a batch 21, and then we have the American Vatted Malt Whiskey. I don't have the details behind the 21, but Zeke actually just took the bottle of 20 away from me. It's 106.7 proof. It is a 10-year-old whiskey. I don't know how old 21 is. I just know it's 106.34 proof. And then I know that the American Vatted Malt is 117.5 proof. And it's cast strength. It says the vatted malt is a blend of variety of 1.5 to 8-year-old single malts from the U.S. The result is a complex and exceptional blend bottled at cast strength so that you can experience its true flavor. It was distilled in New York, Texas, Indiana, New Mexico, Washington, Arizona. The thing about Barrell that everybody knows is they are very good at sourcing whiskey. A lot of the regular batches are Tennessee, Indiana, Kentucky. Batch 20 is distilled in Tennessee and Kentucky. Batch 21, I have to assume, is the same, but sometimes they do differ, so don't quote me on that.
Well, and I wouldn't necessarily say good at sourcing barrels. I mean, I think anybody that has a phone number to a broker could source a barrel.
It's how you blend it.
They do some very innovative things with their blends, and that's definitely what's, over time, as they've transitioned from, starting out with MGP and stuff like that, to finding these barrels that have been at, at broker houses and ways to blend and mingle them that offer a very unique product.
That is a very good point, and that is why I'm thankful for you, Zeke Baker. And I want to apologize to the good folks at Barrell because I did sell them short by saying sourcing. As we know from everybody that we talk to, blending is a huge part of it. You got nothing on that?
I thought you were going to continue on. You just kind of...
No, I'm trying a new leaf.
It's like when I see you turn around, you got back, then ass, and fall off. Whoop.
I'm just trying to start a new thing, cutting myself off.
No, I mean, Barrell still does single barrel picks. They still do obviously a ton of blending. And to me, I even wonder that much blending to that large of a scale. I mean, I guess over time, you obviously get pretty damn good at it, but that's got to be tough to try and, figure, all right, this is going to be this is going to yield this, especially with sourced barrels to where, there may be more variety and other things going on in them that would make it much harder to predict what happens once you blend them all. Go from a micro format to a macro.
Let's not beat around the bush. We got 3 of these to go through.
Hey, wham, bam. Thank you, man.
I really like the nose on the 20. It's sweet, but it's got some caramel and some of that good stuff that you would expect in a good whiskey. I mean, I'm not going to name them because everybody just goes, oh, there's John naming all the shit that's in every single whiskey again. But it's sweet. I mean, the differentiator I would say on the nose for this one is it's sweeter than I would think I would get at this high proof.
No, I thought it was somewhere between a good blend of like candy corn and caramels put together.
Exactly.
Now, granted,
and caramel.
Granted, we're not too far removed from Halloween, but it definitely brings back those memories of, kind of mingling through the kids' hall, a few nights after Halloween and getting a few tastes of things here and there.
Yeah, when the kids are young, we're lucky that our kids are young enough that if a candy goes missing, they don't know exactly what their haul was.
I mean, it was for the show. I did that to help, enhance my tasting notes.
Yeah, we got to know peanuts and caramel and nougat and toffee, all that.
Sour Patch Kids.
Sour Patch Kids.
Actually, I was excited when I saw that because I knew the kid wasn't going to be into the sour tartness of it. I'm like, yeah, oh, Dad, just go ahead and take one for the team on this one, buddy. I don't want you to get some candy you don't like. Sophia
had, they have those really small Sour Patch Kids packs that only have 4 Sour Patch Kids in them. And so I was like, oh, Sophia grabbed it out of the bag. And I'm like, oh, I'm going to give it to her because I don't think she's going to like it. And then she'll get rid of them and not, I'm like looking at that one. I'm like, that's the one that has the most sugar. I don't want her to have that one. Yeah, she liked it. And then she ran around the room for 20 minutes.
I imagine that was a good time.
Oh, it was fun. I chased her. She said I was a monster and made me chase her.
So it's every other day that ends in Y.
Yeah. But like it's a game. She doesn't really think I'm a monster. She says, Daddy, play monster.
So what do you think on tasting this bad boy? Or did you just dip your beard in it?
I did dip my beard in it. I get that nose. It's like an extra nose that I get when I dip my beard in it. The taste is kind of pretty solid to the nose, right? I think it's sweet. I do get a little bit of corn in there, but it's not that off-putting corn that we don't like. It's a sweet candy corn. It's very creamy on the mouthfeel. I think they did a very good job blending for mouthfeel on this one because it feels thick. It feels like over 100 proof, but it doesn't burn. For almost 107 proof, there's not a burn there. I like this pour. Finish is nothing super memorable. It's there, but it doesn't linger for a whole heck of a long time. I'd say short to medium, but we never really bring up the finish unless there's something unique about it.
Yeah. For me, I thought it was super sweet at the front end. I mean, really just as simple as that. Although at least for me toward the back, once it got about mid to back palate, definitely all of a sudden the Dickel rye kick jumped in. I'll save this until after we have the batch 21 as far as, kind of a comparison. But I do think some of the reason that it's so noticeable is it's so sweet that even though that kick may not be the biggest jolt as far as the change in the profile, it really does a complete 180 and then just, whoa, I thought I had something nice, sweet, and easy going here. And then all of a sudden, kind of get, snookered or sucker punched or whatever. So that kind of threw me off a little bit. Didn't seem the most, even kiltered front to back. And then as far as a finish, I just got kind of the lingering medicinal from the Tennessee component that's in there.
But I think you're right. And I think I agree with you on that it is almost kind of like two different pours. Some people really like that, having the sweet in the beginning and then the kick at the end. It is kind of, a Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. It starts off as Bruce Banner and then it finishes like the Hulk. I wouldn't say it's an overwhelming kick, but you're just like, oh, there's the spice.
It's just such a change from the super sweet profile on the front end that to me, it just was enough to throw me off like, oh, man.
It's one of those days like today where it starts off at 60 degrees and then it ends at 30 degrees. And you're like, what the hell happened?
Not a bad pour by any means, but definitely that harsh transition, that curve really threw me off.
Yeah, but I like what they do blending this, especially knowing that it has the Tennessee component. It's a 10-year-old whiskey. You put a 10-year-old whiskey from Tennessee, anything over 10 years.
Tennessee could be older. Could be the Kentucky's only 10.
Well, no, but I'm saying anything that's over 10 years in Tennessee, you know where it's coming from, right?
Oh, yeah.
It doesn't taste like that, which is a good thing. I think they've done a good job of blending that out.
So let's move on to 21.
21.
Not blackjack, but the pour in your glass.
So this one is sweet to me, but it doesn't have the caramel. It doesn't have the caramel aspect that the 20 had. It's more just sweet. It's like candy on the nose.
I got a much more, I guess, mature aspect to it. Pick up a little bit of oak in there.
Yep.
A little bit of fruit, a little bit of floral. But it's not sugary sweet, like a cotton candy or some other confectionery product, which is more what I got off the first one.
No, not sweet like a candy, but it's sweet with everything together, like the floral, the fruit, the fruit I would consider to be. No one's ever going to hear this tasting note before, but I feel like this is a high sugar content fruit. You know how fruits have simple sugars in it?
Well, yeah. Are you going to give an example of one?
I don't know.
I mean,
I don't know. You tell me. I was hoping you were going to tell me which fruits have higher sugar.
I'm not a nutritionist. I'm a pharmacist.
Well, I figured you know shit like this.
It reminds me of,
I don't know.
An example I don't know.
I mean, I would think it would be like a darker fruit, like a plum or a peach. I know peach isn't the dark, but it's more like a peach.
I definitely get a good floral, like I say, a floral note component in there too. I mean, nose-wise, this one definitely seems to be much more rounded. And obviously, we don't know an age here, unfortunately. But if I had to guess, it would be at least 10 plus as well.
And the taste, the rye spice and any spice with this one really doesn't hit me until the finish, and it really builds. It's not something like the 20 where it's the yin and the yang. It builds slowly after it goes down your throat. It just kind of like, it's like just coming back up your throat a little bit, that spice, but it's not that 20 where it's boom, boom.
And that's what I was kind of, trying to get in my head subjectively, going back and forth between the two. I don't think it's honestly that much different of a rye kick as far as the amount you get, but I think the whole front end being such a different, landscape, so to speak, with getting a little more oak in there, a little more, fruit and floral kind of component, it just stages it so much better from front to back. It is just being a much smoother ride and I guess better experience, so to speak.
This one's like a slow jam where everything kind of builds rather than it doesn't punch you in the face. It kind of builds.
No, and honestly, as far as anything involving
Tennessee
Tullahoma whiskey, whether it be a blend or even just, some single barrel picks and whatnot, this ranks up there.
Absolutely.
As one of my much more favorable ones.
I'm a big fan of this 21. And for you and I to agree.
Well, I think a neat note about it too is it doesn't have that medicinal vitamin note at the back that everybody always, kind of harps on as well.
No, it's that floral. Everything is that fruity floral.
Yeah, so I don't know if this is just, with Kentucky or something else, but blend-wise, I would say cheers on this one.
The one thing we don't know when we look at this stuff is, it says like distilled in Tennessee and Kentucky, but you don't know what the percentages are. So you don't know like you would in some other ones like, hey, it's 80% 10-year Kentucky juice and 20% 15-year Tennessee juice. You don't have that breakdown. Big fan of this 21.
Yeah, from what I remember when we had the, that 15-year they put out last year's an allocated release. I say, from what I remember, I would take this over that 15. Easy.
Well, we still have, that is like one that is still under review because we had 2 samples of that. One I had with Joe at the Nashville Whiskey Festival, and I thought it was great. And
you had been drinking.
But it came right from the bottle. I wasn't drinking that much. The other one we had came from a sample bottle, a Boston Round.
Well, I tasted it before that. I tasted it from the professional sample at Elixir.
I don't know.
I had the same response both times.
I don't know. I had one that was really, really good and one that was... So I don't know. I'm still saying I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt. We need to try the 15-year again.
Well, either way... I'm confident in saying, especially from the consumer standpoint and knowing the price difference in the two, I think the 21's a much better bang for the buck.
If we're talking about bang for the buck, which is what you and I are all about, 21 all day. And I don't know. Typically these kind of come out at around $100, 90 to 100. I don't know what the vatted whiskey comes out at. I really should have done more homework here, but let's transition over to that. Again, it was distilled in New York, Texas, Indiana, New Mexico, Washington, and Arizona. Not places that you always hear in a blend. It was 117.5 proof. Now, if I'm assuming here, right? So New York, there's a bunch of distilleries in New York. The Washington one's interesting.
There's some stuff up there starting to come out.
Because that could be Westland. They could have taken some of the Westland malt and put it in here.
What throws me off is New Mexico and Arizona.
Yeah.
But also kind of funny, no Wyoming. They're starting to have some stuff leach out in places.
Wyoming doesn't have a lot of malt, but like Colorado has a lot of malt. So it would be interesting to see what like a Colorado malt would do in here.
Guess they're not selling any barrels.
Probably not. It's also who's going to give them barrels. The nose for me, at least, I get a lot of malt on the nose.
I do from a distance, but once I get into it, I get youth, corn, kind of sawmilly.
Well, and it does have 1.5 to 8 year single malts.
But yeah, if at first the malt's detectable, but then if you get down in there a little bit more on it, nose-wise, I get youth, I get some alcohol astringency. I don't get anything that I really would have expected from just the bland term, a malt whiskey, and not Scotch,
Yeah. And
an American malt, I guess.
We do love some American single malts.
But to me, the youth and the corn, at least in the nose, stand out way more than this being a malted product.
It definitely drinks a little bit hotter than I would expect. And the proof is 117, but it's a hot and spicy 117, almost like a red hot a little bit.
It definitely has a kick. It's hot front to back, and the back gives you an extra, jolt to the throat as it's moving down. But tasting, I still get a lot more corn than I do anything, really. It honestly really surprised me coming into this, because I remember, I guess, last year, maybe 2 years ago now, it was a light blue label. It's called like the Infinite Project or something,
the barrel, like the Infinity Barrel thing.
But that was a heavily malted blend, and I enjoyed that immensely. I drank 2 or 3 of them.
Yeah, they have some really good ones.
Then coming around to this, like I say, I guess maybe I had in my mind it would be something along those lines, just simply because it was a blend from them and malt being involved. But to me, this is a completely different profile in every single aspect, really.
I mean, I think that's the thing with some of these is they have so many different offerings. You're bound to find a barrel that you're going to like. You might just have to taste through. I mean, they have rum, they have rye, they have whiskey, they have the vatted American malt, they have all their regular bourbon blends. I mean, there's something that Barrell has that you're going to like. I mean, I can't get over, I remember how much we loved that Barrell rye that came out. I remember it was one of our first shows. We put that up against the Peerless when it first came out. I loved that Barrell rye.
Mm-hmm. I wonder if the youth component may have thrown off the blending or the expected outcome, just because thinking back to when did the Treaty Oak blends. There was some young stuff in that. When we were doing that at the store, the youngest juice, literally you could go from even at 5%. Some of those you could just tell, hey, this completely masked the entire profile we had going before. And like I say, even at such a minuscule amount. And just thinking about that in my head, I wonder if that ended up being a little more problematic of blending than doing other stuff, just simply because I think everything else they've had's always had a pretty solid age statement.
Yeah, and a lot of the stuff they've had has always been a little bit older, so it's probably got to be hard to put in 1.5 to 8 years, Either way, I'm a big buy on the 21. I would probably, even buy the 20. If you're curious about the malt, if you like American malts, go ahead and try that one at a bar. That's probably where.
Yeah, I'd go definitely a buy for the 21. The malt's definitely a bar for me. And then for 20,
I'd go either way.
I would say, know your profile. If you love Tullahoma, Tennessee whiskey, this is a pretty solid variance from it. As far as, holding a lot of the characteristics, but being a different label. And honestly, that front end is super sweet. And if you're someone that is, used to and likes that Dickel rye kicker out at the back, it's got a good one.
Yeah. Go ahead and check out Barrell. Find some of their stuff. You're going to find something that you like out of whatever they have. Speaking of things that we like, I want to let you know this show is also sponsored by our friend at distilleryproducts.com. They supply all the glassware to us. And Zeke, I want to tell you a story because each week, and I'm not lying, this isn't BS. I'm not feeding lines for somebody that sponsors us, but each week there is somebody who reaches out to me and says, you know what? I reached out to distilleryproducts.com and you guys are right. They have great glassware at great prices. We're saving a bunch of money from what we used to actually put out for glassware. This is great. Thank you for getting me in touch with them. Vicky is the best over there. I'm always getting positive feedback from people that reach out to distilleryproducts.com. And my one thing I always say back to them is, you tell them we sent you. So a lot of people are checking out distilleryproducts.com. If you're a bourbon group, if you're a distillery, if you're a store, and you want to get Glencairns, you want to get the Tuath glass, you want to get the neat glass, you want wee Glencairns. They have wee Glencairns. I always thought the only place to get those little Glencairns were at Heaven Hill. Mm-hmm. You can get them on distilleryproducts.com. They have all sorts of glasses. They have that dram glass everyone likes from Willet, all sorts of stuff. Go ahead and go to distilleryproducts.com. Make sure to tell them the dad sent you. Zeke, people can find us on Instagram at Dad's Drinking Bourbon, Facebook at Dad's Drinking Bourbon, Twitter at Bourbon Dads. Find us wherever you download your podcasts. please leave us an open and honest review, just like we leave open and honest reviews about the whiskey we drink. We want to thank Barrell Bourbon and Barrell Whiskey for sending us over these samples. And thank you for letting us give our open and honest opinion about them. Zeke, where else can the folks find us?
Good old Nashville, Tennessee.
And check us out on December 6th. We're going to be at the Holiday Spirits Fest in Franklin, Tennessee. Cheers.
Ciao.